teacher.
All right, so you have just a lot of stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
And when you go in the morning, here, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. And while you're at it, do that and that, right? And that's when that stress starts. So that's when you have to start cultivating that attitude. Jenny was an amazing lady who lived in a nursing center. She was 99 and a half years old and very proud of that half. She was always joyful and always laughing. Now, I was working in this particular community when I was a lot younger, and I couldn't understand being excited to be almost 100 years old. I had already gone out and bought myself some of that oil of delay, you know, stuff that you put on your I couldn't understand it. So I asked her one day, Jenny, why are you always laughing? And she said, I'm laughing because I won't grow old. And I said, well, hot dog, how do you do that? She said, oh, the outside of me will grow older, but inside, my heart will never get wrinkles, my spirit will never get old age spots, and I will never get osteoporosis of the funny bone. She said, honey, you've got to do things that you like to do in life. Like I like to cook, she said, do you? Well, I didn't have the heart to tell her that I cooked once and got over it. Now I have a sign on my stove which reads, for display purposes only. She said, you also have to do things in a juggling way. You have to be able to juggle. Do you know how to juggle? I said, only my checkbook. And she said, well, let me share something with you. Now, she was 99 and a half, had many, many tremors, but amazingly, when she pulled this scarf out of her pocket, she stopped shaking. She said, honey, you've got to have 3 kinds of health in life, and they're all equally important. The first one is physical health. She said, everybody puts a lot of emphasis on that, but she said, your body's a shell where your spirit lives. Your youth and your beauty will fade, and you can't depend on your body. She said, if you only worry about your physical, you do the best you can with it, but if you only worry about that, it's not very impressive. She said, it's kind of like juggling one scarf. And I watched her in amazement as she pulled this scarf out and she caught it. She said, now that's not very impressive, is it? I wanted to say, yeah, you're almost 100, that's pretty impressive. But I didn't say that. She said, the second kind is your emotional health. She said, that's how you deal with what comes down the line. You can either live a laughinated or a delaughinated life. She said, if you have physical health to the best of your ability and emotional health, that's a little more impressive, isn't it? And I watched this little lady as she threw them up and caught them, and I said, yes, it is. She said, but the third kind is the glue that holds it all together. That's your spiritual health. She said, that's how you connect with other people. And the best time to connect with other people, reach out and really pull them in, is when you're not feeling the best about yourself. When your life has thrown you some lemons, she said. Because then all the walls that you have built around yourself come down and they become drawbridges. And that's how you bring people in and out of your life. If you're not using your sense of humor, she said, you're just not using any sense at all. And then this little lady threw these up. She said, then and only then, if you have all 3 of those kinds of health, will you successfully be able to juggle your life. And as she juggled them, she caught them, handed them to me, and said, now you go and teach other people the value of laughter. And that's one reason I do what I do.